Hello there, Gemini. Thank you for stopping by for your weekly tarot video forecast for September 14th through the 20th. On Monday, the card that you have coming up is the Ten of Cups in reverse. Ten of Cups in reverse. Ten of Cups basically is a relationship card. This can be talking about a romantic relationship, but it can also be talking about a friendship or a work relationship or family relationship as well. So you need to be aware that this can apply to any of those relationships in your life. And when I have the Ten of Cups in reverse, what this is saying is that some relationship in your life, Gemini, is showing up as moving backwards instead of forward. So it's taking a step back. So this could be something like if you have an employer or you are a contractor and you're working closely with an individual from a company, this could be something like maybe the contract running out. And so now that relationship takes a step back because you're no longer assisting that company with your whatever services you're contracting to them. This can also be in a romantic relationship where you're starting to realize that, maybe things aren't working out as well as I had hoped for a long-term relationship for myself. And so you may be starting to take a look at things and starting to evaluate whether this is really where you want to be or not, and maybe even taking action to back out of that so that you can find something more appropriate for yourself. Same thing with some of these other relationships in your life. This can just be a matter of letting go, of letting some distance be created in those relationships where it's appropriate for that distance to be created. So that's what I have coming up for a Ten of Cups in reverse for you Geminis on Monday. On Tuesday, what we have showing up is we have the Knight of Swords in reverse. Excuse me, so I'm feeling around a little bit about this. Knight of Swords in reverse. It feels like this is a little different than what I usually pick up, but it feels like you've been taking some action in your life, Gemini, trying to move forward, and this has to do with new ideas, new concepts, maybe even new business plans. And it looks to me like something's happened on Tuesday or maybe even late Monday that made you realize that this is not exactly the way you want to have it, that you have other ideas about how you would like this to go. And so you're adjusting and tweaking, and as you're adjusting and tweaking, feels to me like you're having to go back and undo some of the things that you've done already so that you can come back and redo them in a way that's more appropriate and that is going to work better for you with these new ideas that you have about how you want this to look. Now on Wednesday, what I have showing up is a Two of Clubs, Gemini. Two of Clubs just means that on Wednesday you're making a decision between two things that you like. Such a tough life to have two things that you like. You have to decide between one or the other. So I've seen this card come up when people are deciding, who to be seriously involved with. Maybe there's a couple of options on the table. Maybe there's more than two options on the table. And so I've seen this come up for that when somebody is considering who they want to really get into a committed relationship with. But I've also seen it come up for little things too. I've seen it come up for, having two different dinner invitations on the same evening and trying to decide between those which one you want to go to. This can be about two different projects that you're working on and deciding which one is going to be the priority one because you don't have enough energy and resources to work on both of them at the same time. So this is just it's just a decision deciding which is your favorite out of something to pursue. So that's your Wednesday, Gemini. And then Thursday, what you have showing up is you have a Six of Swords. Now the Six of Swords cards talks about making progress. This talks about leaving something behind. And it can also talk about travel. But generally for me, it's not so much literally about travel as much as it's about making some kind of change in life. So leaving some kind of old thought pattern behind, or leaving some kind of old activity behind, maybe leaving a job behind, possibly leaving a relationship behind. Maybe you're leaving ice cream behind. There's a wide range of things that you could be leaving behind when I see the Six of Swords come up. But whatever it is you're leaving behind, it's so that you can make progress forward, which is a very good thing. And this card talks about that you are making that progress forward, but you're still in transition. You haven't arrived at what the new normal is going to look like for you yet. So you're still looking for that new normal, but you've left something behind. That's what I see going on with you on Thursday. Now on Friday, what we have showing up here is the Nine of Clubs. And the Nine of Clubs tells me that you're getting geared up for some kind of big campaign, shall we say. Some people read this as getting ready for war. I don't necessarily see it as getting ready for war as much as I see it as just getting geared up for some kind of big thing. This can be getting prepared for a big project that's about to kick off at work. This can be getting geared up to remodel your kitchen. This can be getting geared up for talking to your child about which college they're going to attend, whether it's going to be close to home or way far away, or, you know, a university level, or, you know, Harvard level as far as financially. You know, this can be getting geared up for a lot of things. This can be getting geared up, for some of you, this is getting geared up to see your mother-in-law. You're trying to psych yourself up for it. Some of you are just trying to tell yourself, just stay positive, just stay positive, just stay positive. But it's getting geared up for something. So that's what I see coming in for you Geminis, and that'll manifest in, I don't know, 1,001 different ways. However many different Geminis view this, it's going to manifest a different way for each one of you. Saturday, what we have coming up is we have the High Priestess in reverse. And what I'm getting off of this card is that you have a female that you'll be interacting with in your life on Saturday that's going to be kind of in trickster mode. She's going to be trying to pull a fast one. For some of you, this is going to be a child that just wants you to pay for a cell phone for them, and you're not ready for them to have a cell phone yet. For some of you, this is going to be something a little bit more serious. This is going to be an adult that is trying to do something on a bigger scale. So you just want to be aware on Saturday. You want to be checking how you're feeling about people's motives and what they're really doing and why they're really approaching you in certain ways. So you just kind of, you know, I mean, I don't want to make anybody paranoid, but you just want to be aware. You don't want to just be following blindly into the pit. So be aware. There's going to be, and for most of you, this is going to be a female. In general readings, I don't like to say solidly this is a female because a lot of times that's going to be different. Most of my viewers are female, about 75–76% of you, but then there's that 24% that are male. And sometimes it's different based on what gender you are. So for, like, say for the females, they have this card coming in and they have a female that's going to be showing up trying to pull one over their eyes. Pull a wool over their eyes, but this could be for the males. This could come in, this could come in as a male version of the trickster. And then also it could be just, you know, it could have nothing to do with gender, but just most of you have a female version and some of you have a male version. But typically I do see a lot of times with these readings that the gender that you are does influence the gender that comes into your life that you interact with as well. So anyway, genders are not a hard and fixed rule just because they present as one way or another on the cards in a general reading. All right, so that's what we have there. Saturday, just be aware, somebody coming in sort of as a trickster, female version for most of you. And then Sunday, we have the King of Swords showing up, Gemini. This is telling me that on Sunday you're feeling... Okay, so the words I'm hearing from Spirit is, you're feeling large and in charge. So I'm not sure exactly what that implies for all of you. I'm sure each of you will know what that implies for you more than I do. But definitely I'm feeling, excuse me, like you're in control, and you're making some decisions on Sunday too, because the swords really talk about thoughts and a lot of times about decisions. So I feel like you're going to be making some decisions on Sunday, and you're going to be feeling like you're in a really good place to make those decisions. You're not going to be feeling like there's an exaggerated amount of emotion coming up as you're making these decisions, and that you're making them in a very logical, healthy, undistorted, objective way. So that's the week that I'm seeing for you, Geminis. Thank you so much for coming around and hanging out with me for a little while. I do appreciate it. I want to also tell you I appreciate all your likes, your shares, your subscriptions, everybody who has had a reading with me, and everybody who will have a reading with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you all for all of your support. Everyone have a fantastic week. I'll see you back here next week. Peace out.